Let's welcome in Cam McCann from OddsUSA.com. So, Cam, I just went through this whole soliloquy about the PGA Championship and said, don't touch Brooks Koepka because history says almost no one in history wins this event 3 years in a row, let alone any golf tournament 3 years in a row. But I think you like him a little bit today and this weekend, right?
Yeah, Brooks, I don't know. He's a different animal when it comes to majors, and he's shown it over the last 4 years. Like you said, he's going for his third straight PGA Championship, but other than that, he is beating players by an absolute landslide. He is 76 under par, and the next closest in the last 5 majors is Jordan Spieth at 25 under par, which is absolutely ridiculous. In his last 5 majors, he's at least finished top 4, so I don't see any reason to fade him here. I don't like the price that much at plus 1,000. Before, like last week, he was plus 3,000, so I like that a lot more, and he was also plus 17,000 before he finished second. So,
look, we're not supposed to look at history, but Walter Hagen's the only person to ever do this. So there's just this part of me that goes, this last time this happened was like around the last pandemic. And how can I actually really feel? I get it with all the stats with him, and I think he's awesome, but I just, the history tells me I can't touch this guy. Yeah.
Well, what I was looking at is he's getting on his best putting green here. He lost. Or on Bentgrass, he gains 0.42 more strokes than his average, which is ridiculous. If he gets his putter going, I think he'll win. Last week, he lost strokes putting, and he still finished second, which is absolutely ridiculous. He had, 8.4 strokes gained in approach, 1.7 gained around the green, 0.8 off the tee, and minus 2.7 putting. If you're losing minus 2.7 strokes putting and you're still finishing second in the tournament, you are doing something right.
You got that right. All right. Who else do you like in the PGA Championship? What else are you looking at?
I'm going down the board here a bit. I'm looking at Abraham Answer at plus 6,000. I think it's a great number for him. He's been finishing top 20 in four of five events since the restart. He finished 16th last year at the PGA Championship. And he consistently gains strokes off the tee and in approach, which is exactly what you need at a course like this. I really like the value we're getting here. I think he's a big game player, and plus 6,000 is just a great number for him.
Yeah, it is a great number. You got some props too, head-to-head. You like somebody in head-to-head today?
Yeah. This is more of a fade of Sungjae than it's a play of Louis. There's something wrong with Sungjae right now. In his young career, he's averaged strokes gained in every department. And since the restart, he's only gained in 1 of 7 tournaments. So I'm completely fading him. Louis, he found some form last week. He finished 6th. He was striking the ball well. He gained 2.8 strokes off the tee and 2.1 in approach. He's never missed the cut of the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
And in 5 of 6 appearances, he's finished in the top 30. He finished second here in 2017. So I really like Louis to beat Sungjae. I don't even know if Sungjae is going to make the cut this weekend.
And Louis, I mean, this is a good decade running. He's a big tournament player, and he always
is a major. He shows up.
Yeah, he is always there. So I agree with you. I think it's the right play here. All right, let's get into the NHL here a little bit. So the unders are gone crazy here, and I don't know if that's just we're starting up, and it's hard to know. I mean, it's been so long since these guys have played together. What's your sense so far of why the scoring's been down?
It could be a variety of reasons. I mean, we've never played playoff hockey in August before. The ice could be in terrible condition. I know they're state-of-the-art facilities, but still, there have been problems in June when it gets too hot. So who knows what the ice is like. The players are obviously out of shape. Playoff hockey is a different sport than regular season hockey. It slows down. There's more hitting. There's less penalties called. So that leads to lower scoring games. Another interesting point I saw is that with the end, goalies are tracking the puck better. Without all the distractions in the background, without all the fans, they have a little bit of an easier time to see the puck, which is something I can buy. I played a little goalie in my life, and who knows what those fans. I've never played in a stadium full of fans, but who knows what kind of distractions that could cause.
So if that's the case, who are you buying then? Binnington again? Who are you buying to have a good run here?
Yeah, Binnington, they have a great team, a big team. Colorado's been playing absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's going to stop Colorado. Tampa Bay's looked good. Boston's kind of started slow. I like Philly as a bit of an underdog pick. I think they have a really good team, a couple key veterans, and a superstar young goalie in Carter Hart. I think they got some potential there.
Yeah, but not today, though. You like the Caps?
Yeah, well, that's the main reason why I like the Caps is because Carter Hart is on the bench. They're starting Brian Elliott. I have no idea why, and I think that is a massive advantage for Washington. Braden Holtby has the best save percentage all time in playoff hockey, so I'm going to side with Washington here, who lost in overtime to Tampa in their first game, but they played pretty solid. I was impressed with Philly in their 4-1 win over Boston, but I don't know. Boston wasn't playing well. Tuukka Rask wasn't in net, so I'm going to go with Washington here to get their first win of the round robin.
Yeah, the round robin makes me nervous. I like leaning in on the series that matter because I get it. Like this is all ramping up, but like everything's on the line for them. I'm not sure what's happening with this round robin stuff. Like John Carlson would have played in the Tampa Bay game if it were not that it didn't really ultimately matter for them. So I'm not sure how teams are approaching this, and that's what concerns me about the round robin.
Yeah, who really knows how much they value falling 1 through 4, right? Are they looking at a matchup? Are they just trying to get in form? Are they trying to get in shape? I agree with you. I'm definitely targeting series more. I think that's a more competitive style of hockey, but I still like the goaltending advantage, Braden Holtby over Brian Elliott in this one.
Yeah. As for Toronto-Columbus, that series was tied at 1. Columbus, of all the teams, they're the one I'm watching a little bit here. There is nobody. If they had made the playoffs as the season was progressing, they weren't going to last very long with all the injuries they've had. No one has benefited more from the time off than them getting star players back. So I think they're dangerous. And defensively, they're outstanding. Forecheck's outstanding. Yep. What do you make of Columbus?
And they're defensively coached outstanding. Tortorella is one of the best playoff coaches in hockey. He knows exactly what it takes to get it done. He knows how to shut down high-scoring teams. I mean, we saw it last year. One of the best hockey teams in the history of the game got swept 4-0 by their team. Tortorella, he knows how to frustrate those offensive teams, and he's been one of the teams that I always target in unders. Even if I'm getting a 5, I'm going to go under. Toronto could blow open any game, but I don't know. I just think Tortorella knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to frustrate the big guys, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. They don't like getting hit. They like regular season hockey. They want to be on the power play. And Tortorella is making this a real tough time for them.
All right, so you're going trend continues here. You like the under today, Columbus and Toronto.
And it's a big game 3, right? In the shortened series, tied 1-1. This is going to be a massive game. I like the first period under. I think it could start slow. I just expect nothing different with Tortorella hockey. I know he's not going to open it up. He knows his team can't keep up with Toronto. The only way they can win is a 2-1 game, 2-0, 3-1, something like that.
Yeah.
Stays under the total, 5.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, last thing for you before I let you go. UFC Vegas, what do you got this weekend?
I just think this is a trap line between Omari Akhmedov and Chris Weidman. I've been fading Chris Weidman since he beat Anderson Silva. I don't like anything about Chris Weidman's career. Looking back at some of his wins, he beat a 37-year-old Anderson Silva twice. He beat a 36-year-old Lyoto Machida. He beat a 38-year-old Vitor Belfort. The youngest fighter he beat was Kevin Gastelum, which he had an 8-inch reach advantage. Kevin Gastelum is not a big middleweight. And on the other hand, Omari Akhmedov, he hasn't lost since 2016. He's just not that well known. And I think the bookies are kind of trapping people into giving Weidman at a pick'em here. They say, oh, Weidman, he beat Anderson Silva, the best fighter of all time. Hell yeah, I'll take him at a pick'em. But I think these fighters are on 2 different trajectories. Weidman could be done. He could retire if he loses this one. He's lost 5 of his last 6 fights by stoppage. I don't see why Chris Weidman is a favorite. I don't want any part of him as a favorite. It opened as a pick'em. Weidman's been bet down to 138, so I'm going to see if Omari Akhmedov rises any more over plus 110, but I'm going to be siding with Omari here.
So this is the class that the public knows his name, and that's why the line looks the way it does.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah. It appears that way. Cam, thanks so much. Cam McCann, you can read him at oddsusa.com. We'll catch up with you next week. Thanks.
Thanks for having me on, Bram.
Up next, let's go line shopping with Travis Pulver as we eye a college football season that may or may not happen. This is the Odds USA Betting Podcast.